Chapter 13, Starry Night. The silence of Saint Paul de Mausole wrapped around Vincent like a familiar coat, not like the suffocating silence of loneliness he found in the beginning, but the gentle hush of order. Meals at regular hours, echoes of the soft pad of an attendant's footsteps in the corridor, the monastery bells marking time with their bronze exalt. Daily rhythms his life had never known. The bars of his window, disturbing at first, now became divine, dividing the moonlit night sky across his back wall like a rice paper screen in Kyoto, breaking the view into fragments that somehow make it more beautiful. Vincent traced the iron with his fingertip, feeling the cool metal bite against his skin. As if speaking directly to him, they have become frames for the masterpieces that wait beyond the wall. Now, nearly 3 months at Saint Paul de Mausole, he has stopped seeing imprisonment. "It isn't so bad here," Vincent murmurs aloud to the morning shadows, his voice rough with sleep. He rises, splashing cold water on his face from the ceramic basin. The cold shock grounds him in the present moment, a mercy he's come to appreciate. Through the window, the Alpilles Mountains wait to be painted, patient as always. Ian's voice returns, almost drowsy. "I was thinking the same. Regular meals, clean sheets, no rent collectors pounding at the door. Better than that wretched yellow house in the inn. And that soufflé last night. Pretty good for a madhouse." "No, not so bad," Vincent agreed. "Wine with dinner twice a week, and the wine from the south of France goes nicely with the mutton and fava beans," Ian continued, lost in the taste. "The schedule helps too," Vincent says, pulling on his clothes. "Breakfast at 7, gardens until lunch, painting after. It orders the mind." Ian chuckles. "Wow, never thought I'd hear Vincent van Gogh praise routine." Vincent chuckled too, tamping tobacco into his pipe, a small liberty Dr. Peyron granted last month. He strikes a match, bends it to the tobacco leaf, and draws on the pipe, letting smoke curl around his words. "Not bad at all," he says. They shared the pipe, Ian pretending to draw smoke into the lungs he did not have, leaning back as though resting after a long day. They spoke gently of Peyron, of the other patients who wandered the gardens humming nonsense, of the strange peace that came from being in a place where madness was not a life's failing, but a condition of the air. "Perhaps," Ian said, "sanity is simply a matter of environment. Put a madman in the right monastery and he becomes a monk." Vincent exhaled a thin stream of smoke. "Or a painter who finally hears a higher calling." Ian raised a brow. "Steady, Vincent. Let's not invite divine inspection." In May, the walled gardens erupted with color, iris in blue and violet waves, almond blossoms trembling like pale butterflies in the light breeze, a sky brushed in soft turquoise that reminded him of his favorite Japanese prints by Hokusai and Hiroshige, where plum trees could sway without even moving. He adored them. And the spring breeze carried with it the intoxicating sweetness of the wisteria blossoms that cascaded like a waterfall over the asylum walls. But he painted the irises first, their vibrant shapes as if saluting the sun, and then bending to touch the earth. He painted the silver leaves and gnarled trunks of olive trees. This place was paradise. Peyron occasionally wandered past his door, knocking gently and entering in with hands clasped behind his back. "Good," he'd say with encouragement, nodding at a canvas. "Good. It's beautiful, and this steadies you." And it did. The more he painted, the less the shadows in his mind clawed at him. He painted the asylum garden, where the gravel path curved like a sentence, half finished. Each canvas was a new breath drawn in deeply to his lungs. But it was the night that transfixed Vincent. His eastern window framed a sky alive with celestial movement. Weeks passed, and he did not tire of watching the sky. When darkness fell and others slept, he returned to the window, sometimes holding the bars, sometimes pressing his forehead to them, drinking in the arrangement of starlight and every nuance of the players in the sky. The moon would rise in a slow ceremony, beckoning to the passing clouds to bend with a deference to its majesty. And they would. In the morning, he would sketch out his night's witness, working from memory. In early June, once satisfied with his sketch, he spread a larger canvas on his table and began the real work. He painted it as though possessed, thick strokes caked on, a sky that spun and heaved, molten stars swollen with inner fire. The village below, showing the smallness of man, imagined yet familiar, crouched beneath the sky's vast machinery, the lone cypress of the asylum garden rising up, seeking heaven. "This is God speaking," he said softly one night. "My starry night." Ian watched from the corner, silent at first. Then, when Vincent paused to choose a brush, he murmured, "This is good, real good. The clouds more curve. Think of Hiroshiki's magnificent work of the great wave off Kanagawa, a crest and the bend of water, frozen just before it breaks. Yes, brother, this is a magical work, worthy of the praise of Japan." Vincent nodded in agreement. The weeks that followed became the most productive of his life. Something inside him had aligned in this place, like a clock whose gears finally meshed and life sprang into motion. Vincent applied the strokes in a frenzy, working every hour allowed. He could think of nothing else. Between starting and finishing canvas after canvas, he would fall into a trough of despondent thought. Like sudden rainstorms, one could only take shelter and wait. But between them, he worked with a clarity he had never possessed. He painted the garden of the asylum, pearlescent greens, trembling blossoms. He painted irises, a study so rich in color and detail it looked alive, a wheat field under thundercloud. Scenes that were both of the world in his world and beyond his world. Dr. Peyron knocked on Vincent's door, being respectful of his privacy and seeking to view the growing collection of work in progress and those near completion. "Vincent, your work is advancing in technique, and so rich are the scenes. I feel as if I live in them. I do so embrace your progress. It cheers my heart." "Thank you, Doctor," he would reply with a soft smile. Dr. Peyron would invite Vincent to his office to help him prepare the finished work with stiff wood backing, protective wrapping secured by sisal twine for shipment to Theo. For each work, Vincent would add a note to his brother and the title of the work. He imagined his brother opening the crates in their Paris apartment, pulling back paper, his breath catching. Theo's letters reflected the awe he imagined. My dear Vincent, the canvas that Dr. Pyron forwarded has reached me safely, and I cannot tell you how heartening it was to unwrap it. At once, I felt that familiar shock your best work gives, the directness, the sincerity, the clear strength of your hand. It is as though the light of Provence has found its way intact through the walls of the asylum and into your colors. There's something calmer in the composition, more deliberate, yet still full of that fervor that is wholly your own. Seeing it reassures me more than I can say. You must know how much I have worried these past months, not because I doubt your courage, but because illness imposes such cruel limits. Yet here, in this painting, I recognize you completely, your sensitivity, your searching eye, your affection for nature. It gives me hope that the quiet of Saint-Remy is doing you some good, and that the doctor treats you with the patience and respect you deserve. Do not feel you must work beyond your strength. What you send is always welcome, but I want nothing at the expense of your health. Let the painting be something that steadies you, not something that weighs on you. Your recovery must come first, and I trust that the calm routine there, and the solitude of the garden and the fields, will help restore your peace of mind. Know that I am always glad to hear from you, and that your work continues to move me, and many others, deeply. The canvas now stands where I can see it often, and each time I look at it, I feel that you are not as far from us as the miles suggest. With all my affection, Theo. Pyron watched his steady progress quietly, occasionally making notes in his ledger. He improves, the doctor said to an orderly once. His mind steadies when his hands are busy. Color is his cure. Any further improvement would be at the edges of how far he has come since a year. Vincent would not disagree. By fall 1889, the asylum felt like a monastery of his choosing, a place of contemplation, a place in which the storm of lashing fits of productivity and depression could not destroy him, but make peace with each other in the pursuit of great art. Privately, Pyron, with the support of Theo, began the steps needed to locate Vincent in a place that can continue the therapy of calm work, as he has mastered in Saint-Remy. He writes to Theo, I believe the best home for him would be the village of Auvers-sur-Oise, just north of Paris. The closeness to you will be an unseen pillar of support to him and his confidence. The village, you may remember, is the home of the Barbizon School of Art, as preferred by residents such as Charles-François d'Aubigny, Jules Dupré, and Théodore Rousseau, not to mention the impressionist Pissarro. And the light and color, especially along the banks of the River Oise, will be the centering for Vincent. An acquaintance of mine, Dr. Paul Gachet, lives there. He, too, is an artist. He settled in Auvers-sur-Oise as the town's doctor and an unofficial caretaker of the many artists that pass through. He himself suffers temporary bouts of the nervous disorders he provides care in, that of melancholia, hypochondria, hysteria. Further, in my visits to Auvers-sur-Oise, I have stayed at the town inn, which is clean and decently appointed, being run by the Ravoux family. It is simple, but enough. With your support, I will begin the plan for transition in spring 1890. Yours with the grace, Dr. Théophile Péron, December 1889.